My manager knew about the expired food and told me to sell it anyways. Y'all voted to have another Carnival Provisions episode, so here I am with another story time from my time working there. And I have pictures. Now, context. I have a thing about expiration dates. I don't know if it's my ADHD or I'm just really picky, but anytime I eat something and I see an expiration date, I have to check the date because I suddenly start worrying what I'm eating is expired. I've always been like this. It's really annoying, especially when I struggle reading those expiration dates and even remembering what year it is. Context over. So, one of my favorite things when I'm working is to face, to front, to zone, or to stage. Basically, think in your head the shelves in those laundry detergent ads where everything is nice in a row and the labels are facing front and the shelf is still so fully just I love that. Anyways, one day I was tasked with staging from the bread, aisle 1, to the sodas in aisle 8. At least I think it was aisle 8. It's been years since I've worked there last, and I refuse to step foot in there again since I turned in my 2 weeks. Now, the policy at Carnival Visions was if it's past the best by, use by, sell by date, or any date on the product, it needs to be removed from the shelves. And don't leave it for someone else to do, because they might not do it. I read the little pamphlets that they give you on your orientation day, so I know this. Strange how I wasn't trained to do that by an actual person though. Just remember that I wasn't physically trained to do this, and was only told to do this through the official corporate-made manual that they gave me on my first day. Put it in the back of your mind for later. I'm walking around making the aisles all pretty, and I make it to the drink aisle. Doing my thing when I grab a soda that has the expiration date basically on the front of the soda. I was looking at it and my brain just sort of automatically read it, and I thought the date looked funny. Huh. The expiration date says November 1st, 2023. Why does that feel wrong? So I pulled out my phone and saw the date of that day was February 22nd. I think nothing of it until my brain did its thing. Its wonderful thing. What if this is expired? I need to make sure. So I Googled the year. Look, okay, I know I could have gone to the calendar, but for some reason I Googled dates instead of looking at the calendar app. It's a dumb little quirk of mine. Anyways, I Googled the date and holy shit, it's 2024! This drink was expired by 3 months. Look at the bottom of it. How has this remained on the shelves for this long? Don't we look at this shit? I only ever staged the noodles. I'm never here. So I pulled it off the shelf like our pamphlet says. And that got me thinking, oh God. Are there other things expired on this shelf? People shop here. What if they get sick? What if I get sick? I need to check. So I started looking more, and I found more, and more, and more. So I grabbed a cart, and I started looking more, and I found more, and more, and look at this shit! Look at this shit! Look at it! We were selling this! I had a discount card to this place! I've eaten there!
I've eaten here!
That was concerning! This is one of my favorite sweet tea brands. Look at how they desecrated my boy! I can't go to my family in Georgia to get the good homemade cooked in the sun on the porch. I have to get this instead, and this place is expensive as hell! So what did I do? I went to my manager. Yes, the same manager who would write me up for time theft for falling down the stairs. The story is before any of that happened. I was naive. Should I have gone up to him? No. Should I have pulled all of them off the shelf before going to a manager? Probably also no. I will be completely honest with that. I was brand new and trying to prove I was the best worker ever, and if the pamphlet said to do it, then I was gonna do it. I went up to him and relayed everything. I'm pretty sure I was rambling because I was following my train of thought about how I started doing this and all that jazz. I took him to where the cart was. He looked at the expiration dates and saw that I was correct, that these were indeed past their dates. But then he said something that was so weird to me. He looked me in the eye and asked why I pulled it off the shelves. I said because the date has passed. He asked again why I pulled it off the shelf. So I went into detail. And then he told me I should have just left it on the shelf. I told him that the pamphlet said not to. My manager then tells me that it's so much easier to just leave expired stuff on the shelf than to remove it? What do you mean? Politely asked him what he meant by that. He then told me that if a customer buys it, it's off the shelf and Carnival Provisions made money. If the customer sees it's expired after buying it, they'll think that it expired in their fridge and throw it out, and Carnival Provisions made money. If the customer thinks they purchased it at Carnival Provisions expired, then a very, very small amount of them will expend the effort to come all the way back to the store, or even have the receipt to get a refund in the first place. Most will just throw it out and assume it was a fluke. So I should have ignored what the pamphlet said and left the old products on the shelf because now they have to process it and toss it because they officially know that the product is expired and they can't try to sway it any other way since it's on camera. If I hadn't taken it off the shelf, they could have pretended they had no idea it was all expired, and corporate would have been none the wiser. So you want me to turn a blind eye to expired food even though corporate specifically says not to? And you wanna know what he said? He said yes! At this point, I really should have quit. I really should have, but I didn't because I was stupid. Stupid and broke. So I said okay. I took my cart and I walked it to the claim section and I was still thinking about what he said. All over Carnival Provisions are little signs like, "We are the owner," and "Be proactive." They're even in the break room, so you can't escape it there. You are absolutely inundated with them. And I was so confused. So what did I do? I went back to that manager and I asked him point blank how proactive I should be. Was I being petty? Yes. Yes, I was. It's not my proudest moment, I have to admit. He told me to be as proactive as possible. Management doesn't want to tell me everything I should be doing. So I asked him, how do I know what to do if you're telling me to ignore the pamphlet you gave me that you told me to read to know all I need to do for my job? Are you going to train me for all the stuff to ignore in the pamphlet too? Or am I just supposed to... No, this is the kicker. This is the thing he said back. And I'm gonna do a little impression of him, okay? This is gonna be fun. Look, just leave the expired food on the shelf next time, okay? I don't have time to tell you everything we need you to ignore in the training pamphlet. Why give me the pamphlet and tell me to read it? You wanna know what he said? He said it's just something corporate tells us to do. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wanna know what happened not even a week later? Go on, guess. A lady returned a cheese dip she bought here because it was 3 years expired. Her son had already eaten it! And that's why I don't shop at Carnival Provisions.